You see from the title, volume. The more hours you play, the more volatility you're going to take out of your profits, out of your bottom line. It doesn't matter if you play very tight, somewhat loose, incredibly loose. The more hours you put in, the smoother your graph is going to be. So I'm going to show you some of my stats, monthly, weekly. I'm also going to show you a graph for the year I played the most hours, 2019. And as a nice background, when I put up all these numbers, I took a picture of the sun rising to the east. I was in the Bally's parking garage facing the east. The sun was coming up over Ellis Island. So enjoy that. Okay, here are some monthly stats of mine. Let's show the second column there. My 29 biggest months, and big I mean in terms of hours played. You could look at the hours column. The biggest is 309 hours. The 29th biggest, about 139 hours. If I've ever played 138 hours or more in a month, it's been a winning month. I'm 29 for 29, having winning months. The total at the bottom made about $92,000 in those 29 months. That's what it takes to smooth your graph. You put in hours. 138 isn't even that high of a number, but I've never had a losing month if I've played at least 138 hours. Even in a smaller time frame. Now I'm going to show you weeks. This is 3 columns of my biggest weeks ever, biggest in terms of hours. 42 times I've played at least 60 hours of poker in 1 week. 40 of those 42 weeks are winning weeks, and the 2 losers combine for minus $79. So you can also look at the profits. I'll even show the totals there at the bottom. So that's about $42,000 total, and this is 42 weeks. So if I've played at least 60 hours in a week, the average is very close to winning $1,000. If you're a winning player and you put in the hours, your big hour weeks and your big hour months are going to be winners. It's very difficult when you increase your volume to have losing weeks or losing months, losing any amount of money over the longer time periods. And here's a graph of my profits the year I played the most hours. In 2019, I played 1,681 hours, 48 minutes. I made $28,604. If you're curious, it's about $17, 1 cent per hour. This was also, by the way, my final calendar year in law school. Spring semester year 2 and fall semester year 3. There's a lot of hours in the day. You could go to school and play poker. It's possible. But it's actually not as smooth as I thought. Before I created the graph, I thought it was going to be even smoother than this, but it's still pretty good. There's that dip around hour 250 or so, and then around hour 500, I made a lot at once, pretty steep going up. But, you know, for the most part, pretty smooth. I mean, I have nothing to compare it to. I don't have anyone else's, 1,700 hour stretch to compare it to, but it looks pretty smooth to me, and I would guess not as volatile as other people. So you put in the hours, and you take out the volatility. And one thing to note is it's not just a matter of taking out volatility on its own, so you have a nice graph like this at the end of the year. When you take out the variance best you could, you're going to play more hours, you're going to play better, smarter, more efficient hours. So it's not just a matter of increasing, the hours total at the end of the year. While the year is going on, the hours mean more to you because your head is clearer, because it's not bogged down with like massive spikes and massive dips. And that's the way it is for me, at least. So there it is, without telling you how to play a hand. There are 5 ways I increase the enjoyment and money in my poker, and 5 ways anyone could do it, regardless of your playing style, regardless of how many all-ins you play, anything like that. Everyone can do these 5 things to increase how much fun they have at the tables and to increase their bottom line also.